Hello and welcome to episode 147 of the Book Wars Pod.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I bet you thought you... No, I don't have...
Were you going to say you bet they thought they'd seen The Last of Us?
Burp, you had like 2 months to get that right.
Are we surprised?
No, we're keeping it consistent, which I admire about us.
Yeah, we're back from our hiatus. Thanks for waiting. It was my fault, so I appreciate your patience.
Oh, it was definitely
It wasn't
not your fault. Were any of us equipped to record in the past month? I don't think so.
No. How dare you have to fix your body with legs?
Yeah, so if anyone didn't know, I ripped my hamstring off of the pelvis, so it's been an interesting month or two.
Rana broke her butt is what she's saying.
Oh, I've done that before.
But it looked great. No, it didn't actually. It was bad.
I'm just picturing lots of bruising.
No, I had no bruising. That was the craziest part. No bruising. So they were like, there's no way you ripped off your hamstring. And they got the MRI and they were like,
These two things are supposed to be connected. You see how they're not connected in the picture?
So fun fact for anyone who also rips off their hamstring, for some women, depending on where their fat deposits are in their body, my doctor told me that can impact your bruising. So you can just not bruise because you have fat on your legs and butt.
Oh.
So you're bruised inside. So all the bruising was like in the muscle and the sciatic nerve. But you can't see it on the surface.
That's
Fun
wild.
medical fact. It's not really medical, but...
Yeah, that is medical and it's wild.
I still bruise there.
Oh no, like if you tore off your hamstring.
Oh. I was like, yeah.
Don't try it at home.
I'm not trying to. That sounds
Anyways, now we're back.
not fun.
No, it's not a good time. Can confirm. Not fun.
Chris, tell the people what we're reading.
Sorry, I got distracted. All I can talk about now
This is
my
Rana's
leg.
leg
I mean,
podcast.
really what it is that Rana just was so excited by week 1 of Thrawn Ascendancy that she decided to try to turn herself blue, but then she didn't even get bruised, so...
Except, excuse me, I did it far before week 1 of Thrawn Ascendancy.
Oh, yeah, that's
She's
right.
blue,
It just took you
folks.
like a year to get it fixed. I remember now.
Well, something like that. Anyway,
She
sorry.
blew herself.
Keeks is... okay. Keeks is looking at me like she's going to kick me off the pod again, so...
No, that's at me, I guarantee you.
I'm going to mute.
Yeah.
We are reading Thrawn Ascendancy, Chaos Rising. We are reading memories 4 through 7. And it's, I think, very topical of us to be doing our second episode on the first book as the third book just came out today. So we're just on top of it, as always.
That's not that bad. That's not that behind.
We've definitely done worse.
We never said we were a contemporary Star Wars podcast.
That's true. In fact, we've explicitly said that we're not. So, joke's on everyone else.
I think the joke's on everyone else if they're just listening in the first place, though.
Yeah, we've given you months to leave and not come back. What are you doing?
Honestly, if you downloaded this after everything, after that long of a break, you've chosen your fate.
Yeah, that's on you. We've said this many times. What are we all drinking? Rana, let's start with you since I saw you just take a sip.
I did. Sorry. I don't know why I apologized for that. I'm much
How
more
dare
bearable
you
when I
drink
have
your
alcohol in
drink
my
on this
system.
drinking podcast?
I am drinking Freak Show, which is a Michael David wine. I love this wine, and I usually save it to bring to other people's houses. But part of my surgery recovery was my mom living with me for 6 weeks, which meant she wanted to have all of the wine in a 1-bedroom apartment. It was great, and she's wonderful, and no one tell her I said that. It was great. It was phenomenal. Anyways, she has a higher caliber of wine standard, whatever, how words work, than I do. So my wine that I used to save to bring to other people's houses was opened, and I don't want it to be wasted. She's no longer here, for the record, but it's been vacuum sealed on Fridays or Thursday, so I'm drinking. It's delicious. It's from Lodi, California. I love all the Michael David wines. I don't know what else to add to it. Oh, they moved it. It used to say Lodi. Now it says Grattan, California. Graton? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to pass it over to Chris because I'm talking a lot.
I did have
probably where they
excellent wine
source
at your house last month.
It's probably where they source the grapes from, Rana.
It used to be Lodi.
Right. So depending on what kind of, some
Yeah.
vintners do different things, but sometimes they
Yeah,
source
it does
the
say
grapes.
vented and bottled in Groton, California.
Oh,
Which is weird because it also says Lodi, California, which is where
Yeah.
my boss works. Don't
Huh.
contact my boss about this podcast, please.
Can we contact your boss about wine?
No.
Damn.
can we contact your boss about their extended warranty needing to be?
Yeah, go for it. I'll text you her number. Chris, what are you drinking?
Incredible. I'm drinking scotch. I'm drinking Glenfiddich. Some number of years that I don't remember. I've had it on the pod before. Just listen through all our old episodes until you get to the one where I said what number of years it is.
Start at the beginning too.
Yeah.
Great
No.
use
So
of
you don't
time.
miss it.
Yeah, I definitely first got this exact bottle of scotch 4 years ago. For sure.
Makes sense.
Miranda, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the Northwest's finest water. It came from my sink.
So Rainier? No, I'm kidding.
That was a good one, Chris.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you,
water in
Kristen.
Portland.
You know I crave recognition.
No, it
Speaking,
was
Yeah,
good.
because Lord knows you need it.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Oh, men.
Listen, if you're not patting my egos,
No, I'm
what is
just-
the
I'm
rest of
just
the world
drinking
doing
water.
with their lives? Keeks,
I'm
what are you
also
drinking?
drinking
Your wife
water.
will kill you.
Oh,
I'm
I know.
drinking water. I'm also drinking water. We had sporting events the last 2 nights, so
Hmm.
I did not feel like drinking. I went to the Blazers last night. Miranda's face just said, "What did
Oh
you do
no,
last
no!
night?"
I just remembered that you did do 2 nights of beer. I had a beer earlier, during a staff meeting, but then I was like, I don't want to keep drinking my beer.
That's a plot twist during a staff meeting.
Oh, we always drink drinks. If we're in the office, and like some people kind of are, but like not in the like before times in the office, like we would send somebody to go get like usually 4 growlers. There are usually 3 or 4 bottles of wine, some snacks. Always
That's
at the end of
lit.
the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
One of my old jobs had weekly beer storms where people would like submit like creative stuff they were working on, and we would brainstorm it, but while drinking beer.
One time we had a horrible like day where it was a good day, but we were inundated with calls about an application and literally like didn't leave our desks for an entire day. And we're in the office until 8 p.m. So at like 6 o'clock, our VP walked in and gave us each like a box of beer, and he was like, "I'm so sorry." We're like, "All right." That's my alcohol in the office story. Keeks,
feel
your
like-
turn.
She's having water.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
no, about
No.
alcohol in the office.
Oh. Oh, I've got another one.
It's fine. This podcast has great chemistry. We always know what the other people are talking about.
Please ignore me wheezing into my
Jesus
microphone.
Christ.
Always finishing each other's sandwiches, etc.
Oh man, Chris.
The
Chris
look
is
on
it
Kristen's
today.
face right now is just phenomenal.
She is definitely wondering why she didn't cancel her Squadcast account or whatever.
Chris, you want to tell the people what our org is for this book?
I do. You don't want to hear us continue riffing on alcohol in the workplace?
It's an alcohol in the workplace pod.
Obviously.
It's not that.
Listen, someone's drinking on Thrawn's Bridge, is all I'm saying.
It's true.
For sure. And they're
Uh,
definitely drinking at like the art gallery and stuff.
Yeah. Some
Like
weird blue
fancy
scotch.
drinking though, like
No doubt.
Maybe those two aren't drinking, but everyone else is. There's no way they're going through art. If you're not looking at like tables, I'll wait till Chris is done. Go ahead, Chris.
For this book, the organization that we are encouraging people to give to is the Texas Equal Access Fund, which provides emotional and financial support to people who are seeking abortion care in Texas. You can find them at tfund.org. T is in the drink. TEA fund. So yeah, blue scotch. That's what they're drinking on.
Oh my
Casilla.
God! He admitted!
I feel like Thrawn could have gotten a better analysis of different like planets by their alcohol than by their dining ware, but my personal opinion.
I just like this, but like I
Do you
get that
think
like
Thrawn drinks.
Oh, that's a good question. I bet a little tiny bit.
I
Like,
think
I don't
Thrawn's
think he's
Like, as
ever
a
had more
drink?
than a quarter of a drink. Thrawn's constantly drunk, is that what you just said?
Yes.
I think everyone around
out.
him thinks he's constantly drunk.
He's either like doesn't drink at all because he doesn't want to in any way impede his brain, or he is like, I know that drinking will make people think that I've lowered my guard the tiniest bit, and therefore I will have 2 swallows of wine. Like, it may
That's
be a
probably
strategic
it.
choice.
Now I'm remembering that like ridiculous rumor that Lucasfilm wanted to get Robert Downey Jr. to play live action Thrawn. Robert Downey Jr. Thrawn absolutely drinks.
What the fuck was this rumor? I'm so glad I must not have been on Twitter
Right?
that
Isn't
day.
that just like the worst possible casting you can even imagine?
No, I can think of
Yes.
worse, but it's up there.
Oh, yeah,
It's not good.
seems
sure.
bad.
It's bad. It's another case of like the internet only wanting to have the same 5 actors and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Man,
Also, Thrawn is blue.
he is
which-
blue.
That's
Well,
Burb's
Robert
update for the
Downey-
pod.
And he's honestly, he should just be played in live action by fucking
Papa
Galen
Smurf?
Erso's brother, just like he is by voice.
Oh, that's fun. I was gonna say Robert Downey Jr. is notably not blue.
This is correct. That is
I
a
feel
problem.
like we're going down a slippery slope here.
He should just be played by Pierce Brosnan, like that fucking weird ass poster at Celebration.
I always was like, what is going on with that? It totally is Pierce Brosnan's face, right?
Oh,
It's not just me?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's 100% his
Like
face.
every single person at Celebration was like, "Are they announcing something? Why is
It got
Thrawn
to the
literally
point where I
Pierce
was like,
Brosnan?"
did I miss a Pierce Brosnan Thrawn movie?
That's what all of us thought. And then they gave us no news because it's Lucasfilm and they don't share things
We didn't get
like
news
upcoming
last week.
projects. My God, I've just been laughing about hashtag Disney Plus Day for how many days has it been? 4 days, 5 days. I've been laughing about it since it happened because it's just so unbelievably stupid. Anyway, we were talking about Thrawn.
He's in the book.
He is in the
And as
book.
Burb noted, he is blue.
Yeah,
He's blue. He's in the book. The book's named after him. So is the Chaos. I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought you were gonna say "so's the blue," and I was about to be like, "Is it?"
It could be definitely. I am picturing like a paint color called Thrawn blue.
It's like a particular
Yeah.
Pantone shade.
It has a little bit more purple in it than periwinkle. It's like or a little bit more like bright electric blue than periwinkle. Yeah, I'm imagining it. No one. I'm gonna mute now.
No, I got you. It's like a bizarre mix of like navy electric blue and like deep purple.
No, but
Have
maybe for you it
seen-
is.
Have you seen a show called Rebels? He's on it.
Thanks.
I just.
What's
I'm,
that?
I'm trying to picture that blue. but I
Sorry,
also
Miranda,
bad
have
at
you seen a
describing-
show called Rebels?
Valid question.
I did this to
Yeah,
myself.
It's the year of our Lord 2021, almost 2022, and Miranda has still not finished Rebels.
It's never gonna happen.
Don't worry, Miranda.
It
Just
might.
start the first season over again. What's the worst that could happen?
Don't tempt me like that. You know I will.
I know, for like the 7th time.
Listen. It's fine. Thrawn is chaotic. That's the book.
Yeah, it's true.
Thanks for listening to Book Wars Pod.
Smart but
Next
chaotic.
week.
But yeah, we talked last week. We talked last 2 months ago about how like Thrawn is just as annoying to everybody else as he is to the Empire, or to the Star
Yeah.
Wars section of
I
the galaxy.
feel annoyed reading about him. Like, I didn't mind him as much in the like 90s books, but I hate a like Golden Child story. I was just telling Keeks and Burb this before we logged on. Like, I can't stand it. I hate the oh, this person is so perfect. And it's every single person who looks at him, even if they hate them or even if they hate him, they're like, he's really good, but I can't stand him because of this one thing. But I can't deny even like the aliens from other planets, or like, I don't know anything about his species, but I think he's young to be a commander. I'm like, oh my God. It drives me crazy. It makes me dislike reading about Thrawn. No disrespect to Timothy Zahn, but I hate Golden Child stories.
I mean, that's why I hate the original Thrawn trilogy. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it doesn't ever change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. When I heard that we were getting a young Thrawn book, I was hoping we would see him mess up ever, sometime, maybe, like even questionable decisions. And like, no,
This
it's
is
like,
Star
no,
Wars.
he's still just a prodigy since the day he was born.
No, fuck ups in Star Wars unless you're a parent and then you die.
I'm pretty sure he strategized his own exit of however they're born, his species, the chins.
He did.
He just had so many midichlorians.
Looked
I
for
almost
his.
said, which he notably does not, because that's how the
You can do it. You'll get there.
shit. What are they called? The
The midichlorian's the powerhouse of the suburb. Remember that.
I know is the
I
little
almost
girls.
just came off of mute to say that, Chris. But I didn't have
Oh, that's
to.
what I was. I was about to say. Look, oh yeah, he had like all the mitochondria. Which he
I also thought
notably
Burb had a
does not.
cigar, for the record, Rana. Miranda's
I
holding
was
like
gonna
what
put
appears to be chapstick in a very like mafia movie. Like, you come to me on the
There's
day
some
of my
sort
daughter's
of,
wedding.
like, there's some sort of like Lord of the Rings optical illusion going on too, where it looks huge because of where it's held in front of the camera.
Mhm.
So it looks like it's like a cigar the size of her face. And I put in our chat, where I normally am just apologizing to Kristen for my nonsense, that I thought she had a cigar, and I had to mute myself. Oh, I did it again. I muted myself. It wasn't
is-
supposed to be an example. It was just
It
my.
is-
I've been hovering.
You're doing great, babe.
I'm really not. It's fine.
There's-
Oh, and Argos is gonna bark. I'm gonna mute.
No, it's just chapstick that I'm using to wildly
Gesticulate.
gesticulate.
If you think that's wild gesticulation, Burb,
Oh,
you
it's
are very
not.
waspy.
No, it is not. It is pretty tame. Where was I?
Mitochondria.
I was gonna use that to transition into something, but I'll just go off with
Sorry.
my opinion of Thrawn in this book so far, because that's what we're doing right now. I don't mind, like, he's always right. That's just the fucking thing. But I love how many different fucking perspectives in this book we get, where everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, how many other points of, like, we've gotten Aralani, we've gotten the Pathfinder man, we've gotten Talius, and we like see other like the syndicate people. It's not a syndicate.
Syndicure.
Syndicure. The fancy politicians come in when he and Aralani are talking to General Balkeef, and they're like, "We saw your name on a report, and we're here to stop you." Because what the fuck? You can't just make up your own rules.
I was confused by that scene. Maybe I just didn't read clearly enough, because I definitely didn't read right before we recorded. But how did they? I assume it was like a video message. Like, I thought that they were meeting with them in person, and then all of a sudden they were back on the bridge, and I got confused. Maybe no one else was confused. Maybe critical reading issues. But
No, I think they
They-
were always in person.
They were in person, yeah.
They were
right,
in-
but then I was confused because then they're back on the bridge, like commandeering and responding to military things.
I mean, wasn't that just a chapter break?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I say with love and
I-
respect for you, Rana.
I even went back and checked, and I was like, look, no, this just happened, because I was so confused. I must have like skipped a page, because I kept going back. I was like, what happened to the people? Are they going to get blown up? Like, maybe they'll respect him now? Okay, well, apparently I just don't know how chapters work. So it's a great reintroduction to a book podcast.
It's what they've come to expect from us.
I totally I kept checking. I was like, why are they on? Like, how does this work? Wow. Okay. Well,
I mean, this book jumps back, like, even for a Zahn book, this book jumps back and forth wildly. Like,
Yeah,
you don't have to try to make it better for me, Chris. It's okay. I can't read.
fair.
Illiterate Rana. That's going to be my new Twitter handle. No, that's kind of sad.
But yeah, like, getting back to Thrawn and how, like, everybody is like, this fucker. I get very frustrated by that, though. Like, and honestly, and this is something that, like, frankly doesn't get better in the rest of this book and in book 2 of this series. And, like, we know that he eventually leaves the Chiss Ascendancy to go to the Empire, so I assume it doesn't get better in book 3 that came out today. I will let you know when it arrives on my doorstep. But, like, it's annoying that, like saying he's perfect is like an understatement. Like, he's always right and has never made an incorrect decision in his life. And it does get old, and it's like, well, so you just need to get on board or get out of the way. And I get that, like, the whole point of Thrawn is that he's nostalgia, and like that's why like he's having this big renaissance to try and win over the Legends fans and whatnot. And I actually really liked Thrawn in Rebels because I felt like he wasn't perfect. Like he like got beat by Hera a few times, which I really appreciated about him. And that's why I thought he just had more dimension to him than Book Thrawn. But I just, anytime people are like, let Timothy Zahn write everything, I'm like, what if we don't do that?
That's a lot of episodic books. Also, Thrawn is like maybe one of the least interesting characters in the Thrawn books.
I know,
Because
and that's the problem. Like, and it seems like Zahn is the only person who doesn't get that.
it seems fine.
Despite, writing the book.
Yeah, like he always, and this was true in the previous so there's the Legends Thrawn trilogy, the canon Thrawn trilogy, and then this Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. In the canon Thrawn trilogy, that's also true that Thrawn is like often the least interesting person in his own books. Like you have Miranda's perfect baby angel Eli. You have an assortment of different captains who serve under Thrawn. You obviously have Anakin and Thrawn together. And then Krennic and Thrawn and the other dude who then gets shipped off to the Ascendancy. But like they're all like supporting characters to Thrawn's perfection and like slowly or quickly coming around to what a genius he is and learning to just give him their absolute dedication and loyalty. And it's just like, why do we care? Sorry, there was there actually wasn't that much content, which is why I just started ranting. But here we are.
Because the book is about Thrawn is why we care.
I
Welcome.
keep trying to like give it a chance, and I keep thinking that maybe there'll be something that gets figured out through other characters' perspectives. But one thing that kind of frustrates me is that because Thrawn is supposed to be so smart, he explains everything as it happens, and so it's like, I like when you have to make those connections in your head, and you're like, okay, oh look, I feel smart because I figured it out. But in this, that happens, and then Thrawn says, and look at this connection. It's like, drives me a little bit insane, but it's fine.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like
Timothy
a
Zahn
whodunit.
has
but-
piles of money, so
Yeah, it's a whodunit, but the explanation is in every chapter.
exactly.
Just to say a positive thing about Thrawn, because this has turned into shitting on Thrawn Pod. I do like his method of teaching, where he like does whatever fucking insane shit, or like pulls up the art, like look at these lines, and then like makes the person think through it. Like that's cool, but again, he's still not like, I'm more interested in them putting the pieces together.
And I'll say, like, I do have positive things that I think about Thrawn. I just feel this way about the delivery of his character, I guess. I don't know how to refer to that. Kate has the MFA, and she's not on the thing, so she's the writer. She could really describe that. But I do think he is better with people than you would expect. Not with the Syndicure, obviously, but in terms of, like, he listens to everyone on his ship, and he gives people an opportunity to show their expertise. And he's very good at, like, when you think of that strengths finder of, like, the people-based, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but if they had a Clifton strength analysis, obviously strategy would be high, but he's really good about using people in their most effective place and like really complementing people's abilities and really fitting them in strategically. So I do think there are good things about his character. I just wish he were less perfect.
Yeah, he's good at the actual people things that matter, bad at politics.
Which, to be
Workplace
fair,
politics,
they have an
actual
insane
politics.
political system.
Yeah, they're
it's
always like he's
very
terrible at
unclear how it
politics.
operates.
But like him being terrible at politics is always shit like, you want to drive my starship into a star. What if we don't do that? Oh, you're bad at politics, Ron. You should have let him blow everybody up. Like it's like and also to be clear, I actually don't hate Thrawn as a character. I think he's really interesting as a character as like this kind of like perfect foil to, and I realized he was originally like the perfect foil to like Han Solo, notable not perfect human being. But like it's more Zahn that I don't particularly love his writing. But like yeah, it's like what is bad about his political knowledge other than being like, I am right, and I will not accept that I am not right. Like, that's being an
He is
asshole,
right.
but it's not just in political contexts.
I was surprised that this chapter we finally saw some emotional response from him. Not this chapter, but in this reading.
Yeah.
Everything else that we've seen has seemed really calculated. And then he had that moment where they did meet with the Syndicate representatives, and he was saying, "But what about our people? How we have to defend everyone?" And he was very animated. And maybe I overread that as a very loud animated person. But I was like, "What? Thrawn is like shouting?" And so I will say, I suppose that could be counted as an imperfection to robots. So.
Yeah.
The droid, sorry, we're in Star Wars.
No,
Okay.
definitely. We do get more emotion from Thrawn. Honestly, in this whole book, I think that is one of the positives to this book is that, like, you know, by the time he's in the Empire, he's an adult and he knows exactly what he's doing the whole time. And, like, it feels like in the Thrawn trilogy, he, like, has everything figured out, like, before he's even started, and it's just a question of going through the motions. Whereas this, it does feel like he is figuring it out as he goes along. Like, he's figuring it out in his own special Thrawn way, but like he does have, you know, he does have that outburst of emotion, and he does get frustrated by the limitations of his position.
Yes. Oh, I had something to say halfway through that. I do. So I think I don't remember how much we saw of this in the original canon Thrawn trilogy, but like we do also get a better look at his relationships, which is interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with any of the information. Like,
Yeah,
you have one friend.
maybe 2 or 3.
You have two friends.
Yeah, it is interesting because he's always very standoffish in the Thrawn trilogy, even with Eli. I think the only time he ever really lets down his guard is with, what was that pirate's name in the first book? Like Skyhawk or Nighthawk or something?
Something like that. If you think I remember, you are very wrong.
It was like
I
the
have no idea what
pirate.
you're talking about.
He was like the main antagonist of the first Thrawn book, and he was like the pirate that they were trying to catch, and he
Yeah,
tries
no,
to
I
recruit
vaguely
him.
remember it. Because I keep thinking of that every time they talk to him about the pirates
Yeah.
in this book. And then I'm like, wait, no,
Yeah.
not them. But I have no, it was like, I read that in like 2002. I don't know.
Night Swan. Night Swan is who it was. I think. I don't know. Fuck it. But yeah, like that was kind of the only person he ever really opens up to in the original books, or not the original books, but the canon, the new trilogy. And we see obviously he and Arulani.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about the old ones.
Oh no, that's fine. And he and Arulani have like a very congenial working relationship, I would say.
Yeah, they've also been in it since they were teens.
I feel like Arulani is the only one that has his back. Like, I like that they fight and that she gives him a chance to actually explain himself. Because sometimes he does sound insane. I feel like she has his back. And also, I think, I don't know how to say this, Bakif, I think he has his back a little bit as well. But I like seeing Arlani's perspective most, I think. Not just around Thrawn, but as like a captain and all those things too. I like seeing her like battle expertise.
Yeah, Arulani's fucking great. Where's my trilogy about her?
Yeah. No, for real. I'm hoping there's a
I'd
lot
read
more
that.
Arulani in Lesser. I think Lesser Evil's the name of the third one. Whichever one came out today.
Night Swan is right, Chris.
Hell yeah. I knew it was some kind of night bird. I said Nighthawk first. It was close.
Sure.
Whatever. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Thrawn and Arulani and their bizarre art gallery / punching date.
What a weird relationship they have. Like, 'cause that's when they were was that when they were still like in baby school, or were they already officers by that point?
I think they were in like some like high school, college, military situation.
The
Yeah.
undergrad years.
Baby school.
Yeah.
It's like they go back to, that far. But like this is Thrawn's one friend, and he's like building this friendship, and I maybe want them to kiss while they're fighting.
It's a good trope.
I have feelings about it. They're deeply complicated. But even then, he's still like, oh, yes, you can learn a lot about tactics from art. It's like, ask her about her house, man. Does she have other friends? He's like, tactics.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if I wanted that to go further than friendship or not. Can't imagine he'd be a very good partner in any capacity, but
Also,
Um,
Arlani's gay.
I'm here for that. I was like, oh, I don't like when the romance is like forced between friends because it always feels like such a violation. So I didn't know what I wanted to happen there. But I did like the idea of awkward art and punching either as dates or fun friendship activities. And I thought it was a good like exposition opportunity about how Thrawn views the world. I just didn't expect it to be brought up again like 2 chapters later in the same way, but at least I think it was a good way of introducing like everything we see about him with his excuse with the I've already forgotten what the name of their species is that come back to their ship and everything. Like it did wind in or weave in properly to the other storylines, but I had mixed feelings on what you were just talking about, Burb, about how I felt about the Arlani Thrawn friendship questioning.
Yeah, well, I think it was just the tension in that scene when they're fighting. Because, like, there's always going to be some tension in a fighting scene. Not related
Correct.
to the physical fighting. God damn it.
No, I see where you're coming from for sure.
Thank
That's
you.
That's a loaded activity. No pun intended.
Yeah, and I do also like getting the background, like, on where they came from to, like, where they are in the, present for the main story. Because, like, she's like, I ask him and I check the rules when he says what he wants to do, and technically it's okay. But, like, she just has, like, that built-in knowledge of, like, how he kind of views everything, and, like, everyone else just kind of makes fun of it. Like, they take the that ambassador, and he's like, oh, you want to look at their art and their ships to see what they're gonna do? And Arlani's like, no, we're gonna do this because I'm the fucking captain. Shut up. It'll work.
I have liked seeing the captains and commanders and upper level people like slap everybody down for not trusting in Thrawn's plans. That's been fun.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of their date was when Arlani was like, why are we here? And he was like, I thought it was interesting. He's like,
It did
so
seem
confused.
like it did seem like she thought that maybe it was like she was like Thrawn is asking me to go look at artwork. So I kind of got it in that sense. And then he was like, let me tell you the military origins of each of these forks. I was like, oh,
I
that
took
makes
it.
more sense.
I took it in that she was genuinely confused about why they were at an art gallery.
Yeah, no, I think she was. I think she's like,
Just
what the
because,
fuck?
like, shouldn't we be doing something like military?
Or fun.
Like-
One of the two.
Maybe
Art galleries are fun.
art
for some
galleries can be
people.
fun. I assume.
I worked in one. It was fun. It wasn't.
But it's just like a very surprising thing. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about tactics later. Why are we looking at dinnerware, sir?
Also, like, all the dinnerware example, I was like, well, yeah, if I ran into an alien race that fucking pointed knives at themselves or others, I could probably figure something else out about that too. Like, these are
I
like
thought the
very
plate-
obvious like examples.
Except for the one that, the dinnerware is so fragile because they like to destroy it between, like, presidencies or whatever. I was like, what?
I've seen Dune. I know. I get that part.
This is now a Dune pod.
Everything is Dune.
Everything is blue.
Dune ascendancy.
Dune, but make it blue.
Quick, somebody take away Denis Villeneuve's sepia filter.
That sounds like a smart joke.
Never mind.
I got where you're coming from, Chris. I got it. Yeah.
Thank you, Rana. I appreciate that.
I'm here for you.
What else have we not talked about Thrawn yet?
I have a question about Talius. Is that how we're pronouncing it?
That's how I'm pronouncing it.
It's Thalius in my head, but it's probably just because I work with a great person named Talia, and it's one letter off, so I try not to make it be the same.
We can,
There you
Thalius. It's honestly, you're probably
And
right.
don't
It's
do
probably
off what I
Thalius.
said. I'm the
No,
least
but
Star
Miranda
Warsy of all
also
of
said,
us.
and I'm very stupid.
Yeah, I said Thalia. Well, I said Thalia because that was her name.
Thaliux. I don't know why I'm
Silent
saying.
S.
And an invisible K. It's like French. There are no invisible K's in French. Don't. I'm joking.
There
I'm
are no
joking, Burb.
silent Ks
Burb
in
looked at me like, what the fuck?
French.
It was just a joke about words not looking how they seem. Okay, leave me alone.
Listen,
They
did you
colonize my
see the
people.
spelling of the word I put in the next bullet point? That is
I did. I'm ready to talk
six-letter
about
word
that
that has
soon.
one consonant.
I totally want each of us to say how we're going to pronounce that word, but we can wait to let Burb finish her point.
Oh, I just like wonder about Thalia's because like she was kind of built up a bit in the first section of this book. It's like, oh, she's a Skywalker. That's what they're called.
Oh,
That references
okay.
earlier. Yeah, when I couldn't remember that mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Like, you know, oh, she's this former Skywalker. She's in Thrawn's political family. She's like talking her way onto this because she wants to like, I don't know, learn more about the shady shit he does. But like, when does she do things?
I think she'll have her time. I bet it's coming. Because she had to go on that ship, and I bet that she's going to continue to have some sort of a role in how that storyline plays out. That's my guess.
Yeah, I just wonder like if the payoff is worth the setup. Like, I feel like I'm going to be disappointed by her character.
I was a little not disappointed with like how she came into the story, but I felt like the way that she chose Thrawn's family and the way that like she desperately wanted to get onto his ship, it made me feel a little bit weird of like, why, like, yeah, dude was nice to you, but like, why are you just trying to follow him now for your career? Like, I don't know.
We got to
I don't
find
like that.
out. I don't
Yeah.
think we will, but we got to find out.
I hope that it goes in a different sort of direction rather than like, Thrawn is the best and I must like model my life around him. That's what I don't want it to be. I want it to be something more interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about military and politics in the Ascendancy and how balancing that is hard? Or do we want to save that for once we have more clarity on what the either military or political goals are here?
Probably
Let's
that
save
one.
it.
All right. All right. Let's play Wheel of Fortune.
Can I buy a vowel?
How okay, so let's go around. Let's go round table. Keeks, I want you in on this as well, even if you haven't read the book. How are we
Okay.
pronouncing this word?
Who's starting?
Burb.
So I think my head goes Liaowie or some weird, like something that ends in owie. But also sometimes my brain says Lion King.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. Wait, should we tell any listeners what the word is and how it's spelled? No, we'll do that after.
I mean, I feel like it's if anyone is
Lion
reading along with
King.
us or has read it, it's very clear what word we're talking about.
Yes, yeah. I just
It is
assume
the-
most
it is
people
the
don't
name
read along with
of-
us.
A neighbor, sometime antagonist of the Chiss Ascendancy.
Yeah, I think mine is just Lowy. I don't even want to get fancy with it. I'm just shortening to as many vowel sounds as I can.
Yeah, I would have said Liaowie probably,
I think I'm
which
sorry,
is
go ahead, Rana.
wrong, but
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Chris. We'll see.
I'm going in my head. I'm going like Liaoi, but it's also extremely uncomfortable to even think, let alone say out loud. So
It's interesting you all have it that way. Maybe my brain is broken, but when I see an OI, I think of an oi sound, so I read it as Liaoi, which is pretty similar, but that's how I read it. And that's my story.
yeah, no, I think you and I are similar, Rana. I think mine is more rooted in I get halfway through the word and then it's fucking stupid and I get bored.
Well, at first I was like reading it different ways in my head of like all the different ways the vowels can be connected and make a different sort of sound than their individual sounds. But it was too hard. Like it can't be Liaoi. Like I mean maybe it's
It
an
could
alien
be.
language. Like they don't have vocal cords. It's cool. Or maybe they do. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that that's not in future. Actually, I kind of hope it is in future Disney Plus content related to
Just-
Thrawn because I'd love to hear people say it over and over again.
Just tell us how to pronounce it.
It's going to be the new eWeb in terms of
I mean,
things
they
that
can't
nobody
even-
expected to be like part of a TV show.
Yeah. They can't even like consistently pronounce a 3-letter word in the original trilogy. Like they can't even pronounce the names of like 2 of the main 3 characters. So.
To be fair, they were like all on coke.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a lot of it.
Is that our theory? Is our theory that Peter Cushing was on coke? That's why he couldn't pronounce
no, I-
Leia.
she was also like she had that British accent. And
I mean, obviously she was on coke in that scene. That's not a question.
No,
I
but
don't
isn't
know.
the actual story that Carrie Fisher like was in like some sort of drama school in London when they shot that scene, and so she like still had a little British accent, and then after that she was like back to her normal self. No, I mean also on
Is
coke
that
for any
is
of that,
that
but isn't
is that a thing?
that's what I had read.
All I had ever heard was her like.
Did I
looking
just
back
teach
at it.
Chris a Star
You
Wars
did.
fact?
The only thing I had heard was, I think she was joking about it later, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing with that.
I mean, maybe
Which is
maybe
also
that
perfectly
is a
Carrie
fake
Fisher.
fact.
But no, I believe the
Yeah.
like was used to doing a like
That's
authentic
what I had
English
read,
accent
was that she was
for
like
the theater.
already in the UK for something and was like unintentionally like picking up the accent and then was doing it then and then. Oh well, maybe that's all a lie. She was definitely on a lot of drugs, but Carrie Fisher, she was great.
R.I.P. I miss her.
What a queen.
I miss her daily. Can you imagine her trying to or like somebody trying to get her to participate in Disney Plus Day?
Oh my god. I loved her tweets always that had like a million emojis in them and she was always basically like, what the fuck is life? Like also Gary. Her little
Gary is
Gary.
a champion. We love Gary.
I love that her daughter has Gary now.
I know, keeping Gary in the family. Also,
Sorry,
Billy
I wanna-
Lord
if
looks
I die,
exactly
it'll
like
happen.
Carrie Fisher, and it's terrifying.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I think she looks like her, but I don't think she looks that much like her. Like she looks like her daughter, but I don't think she looks that much like her. Maybe I'm
Interesting.
going crazy.
All right, well, we'll leave it there with Carrie Fisher and the Liaoiai
Oh my god, Kristen's gonna have so much editing to do.
Leowie.
and the Leios. Everybody get your vaccines so we can all go outside. I mean, we're going outside, but get your vaccines.
Get your boosters.
Yeah, get your boosters. If you live in many states, you can get it without any sort of medical reason, and you should, because winter is coming, quite literally. Next episode, we're going to be continuing with Thrawn Ascendancy, in the next 3 months or so. Reading Chapter 10 through the Memories 10 interlude. So if you have the means, first and foremost, please give to the Texas Equal Access Fund at tfund.org. And then, after that, if you have anything left over and want to support us, which, let's be real, you don't. Black Friday's shockingly close. I gotta figure shit out. Support us by donating to the Tosh Station Radio Patreon and giving us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. It helps us cover our hosting and production costs and keep us fed and housed and clothed so we can continue providing the excellent Argos, Cerberus, Jasper, Orca, and Tony content that you have come to know and love. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Gutierrez Design. And our audio and production are done by Kristen McDonald. Thank you all for listening. For Kristen, Rana, Miranda, and Kate, I am Chris, and we will talk to you next episode.
Now this is pod racing.
Well, that was a fucking shit show.
That was... I